students, a very warm welcome to all of you. And your Anubha ma'am is welcoming you to one more very important session for all the ICSE students, because this is analytical chemistry session, something that you have requested that ma'am, we want a special session that how alkalis are going to react with different metals, metal oxides and metal hydroxides. So ma'am will going to solve all your queries regarding the same. So be with me, stay till the end, and all your problems are going to get solved. So yeah, quick thumbs ups. Please appreciate by pressing the like button, sharing it to your friends, and definitely liking and subscribing to the channel as well. Yeah, students, and you know what? There's something big that we need to tell you, that how Vedantu has proven it again that it's best among all the online classes. Why so? Because you know JEE advanced result is out and Vedantu bags some amazing responses, amazing results. Look at this, look at the huge success of all the students of Vedantu. We bagged 5 in top 500 AIR, all India rank, top 500. We have 5 students, top 1011 students, top 2044 students, top 5121 students, and top 10,253 students. And I'm talking about JEE Advanced, one of the toughest exam of India. So I hope you know it, that why I'm telling you this, that your picture can also be here if you will become an amazing part of this amazing journey of Vedantu, and you can be here as well. See the amazing result. This is the success of all the students that I wanted to tell you. So students, if you all want to become a part of Vedantu, just follow the link given in the description box of Vedantu 910 channel. Vedantu 910 channel has pinned a particular link. Just click on it and apply a magical code and just buy the course. And the code will be, let me write it for you, AGEPRO. Anubha ma'am classes code is AGEPRO. Anubha Gaur English Pro subscription, and you can choose your subscription from 1 month, 3 months and 6 months, and can be a part of Vedantu and will say, yes, I'm a proud Vedan. Yeah, students, hope to see you, so many of you in the sessions. Yes, everyone. And as I told you, what are we going to learn? Action of alkalis on metals, metal oxides as well as metal hydroxide. And students, what I want to say, just stay strong. We will get through this time as well. And trust me, you will do absolutely good. We all are there for you. So just tell me, yeah, ma'am, we will do it. We can do it. Yes, everyone. With the same josh and energy, let's get started. Whatever we want to learn, this will be very easy. Okay. So first of all, what I want to say, that exactly which kind of a metal can react with all the alkalis. Is it like all the metals can react with alkali? Sadly, no. Only zinc, aluminium, lead are among some of the metals, are actually the metals that can react with concentrated alkalis kind of a solution. What could be the reason? We'll talk about this. First of all, it's like following the same kind of a reaction that metal behave with an acid, a diluted acid. What product we expect out of the same? We got a metal salt and along with hydrogen gas. So generally, when I talk about bases will also react with the metal to do the same exact thing to get metal salt and hydrogen gas. The only thing that I need to tell you, that it's not all the metals that can react with bases. The list is only limited to zinc, aluminium and lead. Now you're like, ma'am, what exactly is the reason that only these metals will react with my alkalis? The reason is, students, metals, metal oxides, metal hydroxides are something that have already a basic behavior. According to Lewis, bases are something that can give electron pairs, okay, that can give electron pair or electron pairs. So when I talk about metal, metals are electron donor, yeah. Bases, alkali, Bases means that's already a base, and metals being electron donor is also kind of base. Base reaction is too much difficult. Yeah, so what we need to do, we need to look for certain kind of a metals, maybe metal oxides, metal hydroxides, that must be having more than one kind of character. I'm talking about amphoteric one. Yeah, amphoteric is what? Ampho comes from a word amphi, and amphi means both. So when my metal oxide is amphoteric in nature, means following both kind of dual kind of nature, means beside being only as a base, if they show acidic property as well, then it is possible to react with bases. Okay, in what sense? Amphoteric metals, metal oxides, metal hydroxides will be the one, depending upon the other reactant, they can change their nature. If we are reacting with a base, they will behave as an acid. If we are reacting with an acid, they will behave as a base. They will show dual character. So as we know that alkalis are bases only, so they can have acidic properties also. So zinc, lead, aluminium, some of the example that they can show acidic property also. Lewis theory is also that when a metal or compound or whatever it is accept electron pair also, that behaves as an acid. So metal hydroxide, metal oxide, whenever gives electron pair as well, accept electron pair at the same time, that will be amphoteric, acidic as well as basic property, depending upon the condition required. So pretty much clear whatever I've told you. Yes, it will be more and more clear when I'll give you enough example for whatever I have said. So let's talk about the same, that how my zinc is going to react with my alkali, my base. What is alkali? Basically water soluble base. So zinc being an amphoteric metal will react with an alkali, and that will show same kind of a reaction the way metal react with acid. The same way metal will react with these bases. We know that only metal possible is zinc, aluminium, lead. So same kind of a reaction that we will get salt and hydrogen gas. Look at this, zinc with NaOH, we will get a salt, that's sodium zincate, a salt with hydrogen gas. Na2, Zn and O2, 2 hydrogen is left, and that's released in form of hydrogen gas that burns with a pop sound. Now this is sodium zincate, some books also says sodium metazincate. And ma'am, how to write this formula, why you wrote sodium before and then zinc? Because students, we start with that metal that is more electropositive in nature. So sodium is very much reactive, more tendency to donate the electrons, so more electropositive as compared to zinc. And zinc came very later in the reactivity series, if you remember. So first sodium, then zinc we have to write. And zinc having oxygen and -2 charge, whenever you have a polyatomic ion including oxygen and negative charge, we end such substance with 8. So sodium zincate. Okay, this is sodium zincate with hydrogen gas. I hope the reaction is pretty much clear. Yeah, students, definitely so awesome. So is there only one alkali? No, students, there is more than one alkali as well. So let me tell you some other example. I hope you can see that I'm rubbing this area, I'm erasing this area. Okay, and yes, okay. When I take the alkali as KOH, sodium, I'm replacing with potassium hydroxide with zinc. What I'm going to get? First I got sodium zincate, now I'm going to get potassium zincate. So zinc with KOH, what I'm going to get? K2, potassium, zinc, O2. Valency should be satisfied. 2K is giving +2 charge as 1 potassium +1, 2 potassium +2. Zincate is having -2 charge. Total positive and negative must be equal, and then along with hydrogen gas. Yes, pretty much clear? Yes, ma'am. What about other metals also? Let's talk about how my aluminium is going to react with the alkali. So look at this, what it is written. Aluminium reacts only with boiling and dilute alkali. Boiling and dilute alkali means we have to take the alkaline mixture In the boiling form means we have to provide so much amount of heat, and in the diluted form. So look at this, NaOH, I have taken some extra amount of water, that means I have taken it in diluted form, and then I put aluminium because aluminium is comparatively less reactive than my sodium potassium. So same way it is going to react, being amphoteric in nature. So what I'm going to get this time, I'm going to get not sodium potassium aluminate. Yes. So what are we going to get this time? Sodium always written first. So it won't be sodium zincate. Okay. This time it will be sodium aluminate, because sodium I have to write in the very starting. Sodium aluminate along with the hydrogen gas, 2 hydrogen gas, and there are 2 hydrogen from here, in total 3 molecule of hydrogen gas as well. So this reaction is also pretty much clear. How my aluminium is going to react with alkali? Alkali could be NaOH or KOH with the water. So now aluminium with KOH, now I'm going to get potassium aluminate. Okay, because sodium potassium more reactive than my aluminium, so I have to write it in starting. Potassium aluminate with 3 molecule of water, 2 molecule, and 2 hydrogen means 1 more molecule. That's what it is going out. So yes, students, now you know how your zinc, your aluminium is reacting with alkali. Let's talk about lead as well. When lead is going to react with NaOH, what is something that you're going to get? Same kind of a reaction, trust me. You are going to get sodium plumbate now. Funny name, but yeah, that's true. Sodium plumbate, Na2PbO2, and a molecule of hydrogen is out, as that is hydrogen gas that is releasing. Pb with KOH, as you have taken potassium hydroxide as an alkali this time. So this time the product will be potassium plumbate, not sodium plumbate. Pb small b O2, potassium plumbate along with hydrogen gas. So now you know how your alkali is reacting with the metal to give metal salt and hydrogen gas. Now the thing is, action of alkali on metal oxide, and this is also pretty much very easy. First of all, I'll ask you only one thing. What is the nature of metal oxide? I think you can prove it by litmus test also, that when you take metal oxide and put it in water, you will get a basic solution. That means my metal oxides will give me basic solution and they can't react with alkali. As far as the metal oxide is something that could be again amphoteric in nature, so there is nothing that you need to do. Your zinc, aluminium and lead, if I talk about its oxide form, is still amphoteric in nature. So it's my metal oxide, amphoteric in nature, and I'm having alkali base, so that can behave as an acid. Acid-base reaction is a kind of neutralization reaction. So the product that I can expect is salt and water. So the product that I'm going to get is salt and water, right? So see, we are proving it here with an example also. Sodium oxide with water, what we are getting, NaOH. It's like 2 Na, and I'm having water I can write as HOH, right? So 1 OH, 2 OH with 2 Na, I got 2 NaOH, my sodium hydroxide aqueous solution, right? That means we are proving with an example metal oxides nature is kind of basic, that they will give metal hydroxide in water. So if I try to react it with acid, that's possible that they will react with acid to give salt and water. They can't react with base at all. That means all metal oxide can't react with alkali. Only amphoteric oxides will do that. What will be an amphoteric oxides again? Ampho comes from a word amphi. Amphi means both. That means dual. So amphoteric oxides, that kind of an oxide that is having dual kind of a property, and according to the condition that can behave as an acidic or a basic oxide or acidic or basic character. Yes, everyone? So I already told you what kind of oxides those will be, and the name is still the same: zinc oxide, aluminium oxide and lead oxide. So let's talk about their example also one by one. When I talk about zinc oxide, as NaOH is a base, that is behaving as an acid, and I'm going to get salt and water. That's a kind of neutralization reaction only. So it's like Na2ZnO2, Na2ZnO2, and what is the second product I'm getting? I got H2 and one oxygen left, that is water. Okay, Na2ZnO2, and what exactly is left? H2O, that is water. Salt and water neutralization reaction. Okay. Now, if my NaOH is replaced by KOH, I have potassium hydroxide as an alkali. Now, the only thing is I'm going to get potassium zincate as the product, same salt that I got in the case of metal 2, and then but the only product here is H2O, not my H2, because it's having one extra oxygen at this moment of time. So not H2 but H2O, right? Makes sense? Otherwise, almost the same thing. You do not need to go to that detail. Only in 10 minutes you can remember everything that I have taught you. Now the thing is, what if I have taken zinc hydroxide? So zinc oxide, now this time I'm taking zinc hydroxide, and pretty much interesting thing is that's also amphoteric in nature. So if we are putting it in alkali, that means a base that will behave as an acid. Acid base will give us salt and water. Okay, and see that I have zinc, I have 2OH. So again the salt will be same, K2ZnO2. Let me take a different color and then we'll show you. And yes, I have K2, 1Zn, and then O2. Suppose this O2 I have taken K2ZnO2 potassium zincate. Now I am left with 2 hydrogen from here and 2 OH from here. That's HH and OH. That is 2 molecules of water. So I hope pretty much clear. We got potassium zincate with water. The only difference in the previous reaction, let me show you, is here we got 1 molecule of water with zinc oxide, and here at this moment of time with this reaction I got 2 molecule of water. So salt will be same, it's just what will be the next product I'm getting. Hydrogen when only metal is taken, when metal oxide then H2O, when metal hydroxide 2H2O. This is the only difference we could observe till now. So same reaction with sodium hydroxide also, nothing at all like a rocket science, same kind of a reaction. The only difference is here. All right. Now what about aluminium oxide? Same. With my alkali base, it will behave as an acid, and I will expect salt and water, same kind of a salt that I got when I took just the aluminium metal. The only difference is we are getting H2O at this time. So 2 sodium, right? 2 sodium, 2 aluminium, 2 sodium, 2 aluminium. O2, that is 4 oxygen. So 3 from here and take 1 from here. 4 oxygen, I got my sodium aluminate. I am left with 1 H and then 1 OH, that is a molecule of water. Because I have taken already 1 oxygen, so 1 H is left and 1 OH is left, as already I had 2 OH. So 1 is gone and 1 OH is still intact. HOH is water, right? So I got my salt with the water when I take NaOH, and same reaction with KOH as both are alkali. The only difference is first sodium aluminate, now potassium aluminate. Same kind of a reaction. That's like a salt with water, salt, water, aqueous kind of a solution that I'm getting. So if aluminium oxide, the only difference with aluminium hydroxide is still the same. Earlier 1 molecule of water, now 2 molecule of water. See with NaOH, NaAlO2, NaAl, and then I have taken O2. Okay, disappeared. NaAlO2, sodium aluminate. I am left with this HHOH and 1 more OH. So what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hydrogen and then total 2 oxygen. Yeah, so 2 molecule of water. So I hope it makes sense that only the number of molecules of other substances changing. That's it. When I'm moving from metal oxide to metal hydroxide, only do remember I'm talking about the amphoteric ones, because other metals metal oxides and metal hydroxides are not going to react with alkali, right? Pretty much obvious. What about lead oxide? Lead with my alkali, metal salt of lead with my hydrogen, but metal oxide with alkali, it's like acid-base reaction. The product will be salt and water. So lead oxide, yellow color with NaOH, again sodium plumbate at this moment of time, same salt Na2, PbO2, and then a molecule of water. Salt and water, same with KOH. The only difference is now here it will be taken by K, so that's potassium plumbate and potassium plumbite, basically, not plumbate. This is plumbite. Okay, so potassium plumbite with a molecule of water. Same, if I've taken lead hydroxide, see, the only difference is in the amount of water molecule. Now it has become 2. So it's like PbOH, OH, 2 molecule of NaOH. So Na2, PbO2, just made it disappear. Na2, PbO2. What I'm left with? I am left with H2, and then from here 2OH as well. So what I see, 2H, 2OH, that means 2 molecule of water. That means lead hydroxide with NaOH, again the same salt, sodium plumbite with 2 molecule of water. But KOH with KOH same, now it's potassium plumbite with water but 2 molecule of water. So I hope it's pretty much obvious what exactly was the difference when my metal oxide and metal hydroxide is going to react with alkali. The only metal oxides and metal hydroxides can react with alkali is your amphoteric ones, and that's zinc, aluminium and lead. That's pretty much common, and I told you all of the reactions which are super important in that part. So I hope that's pretty much clear, makes sense. So I'm so happy that you learned this topic so clearly and easily, and in next session there will be a doubt session and I'm going to take mentees, so be very much prepared with the same. Yes students, going to be very interesting, and again a very amazing and exciting news students, that if you also want to be on the hot seat of KBC, this is the time students, your dream can also be true. All you have to do is to just play the week quiz, and how you can do that, download Vedantu app now, play week quiz, and you can get a chance to qualify for the KBC, as Vedantu is the learning partner for KBC season 2020, and you can be on the hot seat with Mr. Bachchan and your dream can absolutely become true. Yeah students, so please download the app. You will get all the important informations and all the amazing sessions are on your way. You can come to Vedantu platform and can enjoy all the amazing sessions where learning is super fun. All you have to do is to, whatever the link given by Vedantu 19 channel in the description box, pinned by Vedantu channel, you have to click it, you have to select your grade, you have to select your target ICSE, and then you have to click on get subscription, and you can choose your subscription wisely students, from 1 month, 3 months and 6 months. Which one is best? Every course is equally best. It's just about the duration of time, because more and more will be a duration with Vedantu, more and more discount you can get. So if you'll apply for 1 month, it's like, yeah, I have particular chapters in my mind and I really need to solve them. You can take a 1 month subscription. The course after discount is for 2699. After applying AGEPRO code, teacher code, you will get the same course with 20% discount on MRP, and you just have to pay 2159 rupees, I think, which is not at all a bad deal. For 3 months, the course was for 6999 after discount, and AGEPRO code is giving you 1399.8 rupees extra discount. You are saving 31% on MRP and just paying 1866 rupees per month. Awesome deal. If you'll ask me personally, this is the best one, because 1 month is very short period of time, 6 months is very large. So this is something you can opt for, and 1866 is like a 10.5 rupees per session, which is absolutely awesome. And 6 months 11,499 after discount AGE PRO, you can get 2299.8 rupees discount, and after this code you just have to pay 1533 rupees per month. And I think this is an awesome opportunity to grab it. So just choose your course wisely by going to the link given in the description box, and do not forget to apply the coupon code AGEPRO because everyone likes discount. Yeah, students, hope you liked the video as well. Hope you enjoyed the session. Do let me know in the comment section. Do let me know your further suggestion. Ma'am will definitely try to come up with the same, and you can reach out to me on my email ID. So please subscribe to it. This channel equally needs your support. So let's make it a big hit, students. I'll meet you in the next session. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye bye, students. Thank you so much for being here.